Hi, I'm Dr. Marc, and I'm going to help you sing and perform more like the top artists around the world. I'm a professional voice teacher, performance coach, and opera stage director. I've helped thousands of singers around the world learn the techniques and methods that got the top singers to where they are. Let's talk about what makes Cynthia Erivo's performance of stand-up so awesome. Here we go.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun, weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run.
Honestly, the only reason I'm stopping here is because if I don't stop about every 30 seconds, then the little bots that go through and try to stop people from doing copyright stuff get you in trouble. Any reaction video shouldn't be getting you in trouble for stopping and talking and analyzing, using it as an educational tool. But as you know, if you look through, it's just not worth fighting the system on that. So let's really quick talk through a few things that we're seeing here. One, gold dress really draws our attention to her, but it doesn't linger there because it then draws our eyes up to her face because she has this big kind of thing behind her head that increases her status, makes her look like a queen, keeps our eyes right on her face, right where it should be, because there's so much going on expressively. The other thing you'll notice is these little lamps match her dress. So they all live in the same world here. And it's gorgeous. I mean, wow, that sound, it's a voice that just captivates you from the start. Why? Because it's authentic, it's expressive. Is she pushing anything? No, not at all. She's keeping that placement forward, but you know she means what she's saying. She cares. It matters to her deeply. And that is what we care about as an audience. And that's what we're wanting to see. Someone who's being vulnerable and sharing their deepest, most thoughts, feelings, and concerns and passions with us. And is there any question that that's what we're seeing here? Not to me. I mean, wow. Wow.
I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up.
Okay, notice when the big lighting change happened with a little broop in the orchestra? We want to save big dramatic visual changes for the moments when it happens in the music. Big dramatic visual changes should come with big dramatic musical changes. If they don't, then it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't belong together. It just doesn't quite work. That and that visual change coming with that musical moment makes it magical. There's something magic about it. It gives me the tingles every single time. Love it. It is gorgeous. Is it distracting from her? Nope. It's just expanding her influence, and seems like we have this vision of what's in her mind and her soul playing out in front of us, because it doesn't ruffle her in the least. She's still super focused on communicating what she's communicating, and she owns that music the entire time.
My people with me.
Look at those eyes, so gorgeous.
Going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my hands.
That low note, she's keeping super forward. The tendency for a lot of people is when they get to lower notes is to pull it back and try to swallow it and make it happen that way. Nah, make it as ugly and bright and forward as you can make it, and the audience is going to appreciate it because it stays present, stays connected. And it's not going to sound ugly to us, but it'll probably sound ugly to you in your own head as you're singing it. What I wanted to share with you is I want you to go back and watch the original video again, and as you see her eyes travel up, see what emotional impact it has you on the audience member. Again, it's magical. those eyes up, and the lights shine in it. We get what I like to call the Pikachu effect, and it's just glorious. It is, I don't even know how to describe it. You'll notice, what is she actually looking at here? There's nothing in this theater that she's staring at. Those moments of being really specific about what we're imagining and letting that happen out in front of us and letting ourselves focus on it and feel about it and show it, that's what makes live performance and musical performance and singing so magical. It's all happening in her imagination, but because she sees it and feels it and we can see it expressed in her body, it just lights up our own imagination and our emotions and lets us come along with her. It's stunning.
In the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. Oh, I'm waiting for the mighty water. You know I got a made up mind. I made up my mind, and I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die.
Okay, so a few things here. High note there, you'll notice she just kept the airflow super consistent. She didn't punch it, super whiny and forward and relaxed. You see her grab or push or tense or anything? No, her head went up, but it was an emotional reason for her head to go up, not a vocal one. Really important. She just kept it easy, trust the resonance, trust her voice just to do what it needed to do to get up there and trust that that was enough. She didn't have to do anything extra there. You'll notice the costumes and the people behind her. Same visual color palette and world. We're getting these yellows, creams. It looks a little bit kind of like a rose-ish color in there that matches the background a little bit. But all these colors are working together, so we visually can see that they're all part of the same world, all part of the same thing. But you'll notice because she's wearing gold that none of them are taking attention away from her. She's still the focal point. On top of the fact that on the ground you'll see the circle around her, right? That also places her as the center of the bullseye, the place where I wants to go, and everyone else is just supporting that. And that's awesome. It's really cool to have a really clear focal point so we know exactly where we're supposed to be looking, but all this other information that just supports the story that she's telling. Other thing I want to point out is you'll notice if you're watching her face here that the emotions are never static. It's never just happy or just angsty. I don't know. But it's always going to and from different emotions. It's constantly fluid. The only way to make that happen is if she is really putting her mind and an imagination with very specific context, story-oriented things. So her mind and body are living through imaginary moments that in this moment to her, though, are real. And she's letting herself feel and show it as a gift to the audience. And it is. I mean, this is a gift. This is gorgeous. Some of the most stunning work I've seen in a long time. Really, really amazing.
Gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, you hear freedom calling, calling me to enter. Gonna keep on keeping on.
Okay, final thing here that I want to spend some time and attention on is why, if I'm talking about singing and technique, would I talk about storytelling and what's going on with your face, your eyes, your body, and what's going on in your mind? Well, the only way to really get the type of vocal expression that's really moving and meaningful and valuable is by going through those elements of what our body's doing and what we're thinking, what we're feeling, because that impacts the nuance and all the little things that have to happen in this voice to get in a way that feels authentic, genuine, and natural. It's just got to be addressed. We have to talk about it and work on it at the same time. It's all part of the same instrument. You can't just neglect and ignore it and expect the voice to just magically do it somehow without addressing it. So one of the things that I hope that you're noticing, as I notice performance after performance, as we're looking at some of these top performers, is that the ones who are really moving, who really take us on a journey, who are really exciting on so many levels, their focus is always first and foremost as they're performing about telling the story. Whatever story that is. Maybe it's a bunch of little stories within one song. Doesn't matter. They're still telling a story. They're still connecting to very specific imaginary situations and people and thoughts and images that cause them to feel certain feelings that they then show us. And here, wow, I don't know her very well or know her backstory, what's going on, but I can tell you what, if I was to meet her in real life, I promise you this woman has got to have an extremely vivid imagination, because we can see it. And she's got to be able to pull down these walls at a moment's notice if she wants to, and be so vulnerable and authentic and genuine. That's a really awesome gift to humanity. So, loving it.
And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone.
Placement's pulling back a little bit breathier. It's making it softer. Makes it a little more vulnerable. It's setting up what I'm guessing is going to be a big dramatic moment in a second. That's a tool we can use. It's not about it being right or wrong. Is it a sound that I can make comfortably here? And if so, I want to keep it on my color palette somewhere so I can use it at the right moment. No question, because we saw earlier, she can do all of this completely consistent, perfect, awesome. So we know when we're seeing this that this is a choice, and it reads as a choice, and it's gorgeous still. Gorgeous.
And I just might fail, but Lord knows I try. Just as feel as the sky.
You'll notice, even though it's breathy and she pulls the placement back, those upper two smile, it's the whole time. It's an the whole time, with her lips and tongue and teeth wrapping around that to make the other vowels, just like the time places before it. Try it out. See what it does for you.
Take my beat.
Okay, another tip that I've heard a few different places, but I first heard from someone I admire a lot. And what they said was, as a performer, you never want to show them 100%. You never want to show them your highest note or your loudest note. You always want them guessing and thinking that there's more in there. Has she shown us her highest or loudest note yet? I guarantee you we have not seen or heard it yet. We probably will never see or hear it. She's keeping it super consistent. She's letting the building momentum of the music, of the melody, of the pitches, of the singers, doing its work to lend intensity and gravity to the song. She's letting her own genuineness, authenticity, and keeping her voice easy is allowing us to stay relaxed and engage and invest with it. What we're not seeing here is push, force, putting things in it that just come with diminishing returns and doesn't add anything to the performance other than maybe her own feeling like she's more connected. We're not seeing anything like that. She's keeping that voice gorgeous, easy, expressive, and free to move and do all kinds of stuff. And it's gorgeous. So what can we learn? Never give 100% of your voice. Always hold just a little bit back, so you always have somewhere to go.
I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
I'm sure those of you who are fans and watch this know a lot more about the backstory and what's going on and what this means and what this means to the singer. I would love to hear what you have to say. Comment down below. I'd love to read more about it and learn more about it. My schedule is often too busy to research all little details of everything between. And honestly, these videos, I purposely try not to engage in that because I'm wanting to approach it as a first-time viewer who doesn't know anything. Because the reality is, the majority of audience members are someone who's seeing it for the first time, doesn't know all the backstory, and so the performance has to be able to stand on its own without them knowing anything else, be engaging on its own. And then afterwards, all the little details that they read then just are whipping cream on the cake. But really, the first and foremost thing has to be that the performance itself is completely solid. And in this performance, I don't need to have seen anything else or know anything about her for this to be an absolutely stunning, incredible performance and a gorgeous song. Wow. I guarantee you, I'm going to be adding more of her stuff to my playlist and to what I'm watching and seeing, because I think there's a ton more here for me to learn from her. And I hope that you come along for the ride and learn with me, because wow. If you want a voice lesson, a performance coaching, or want me to work with you or your group to help you sing easier or perform at a consistently higher level, or just to feel more comfortable and confident in what you're doing when you're singing with friends or on the stage, reach out to me at mrperformingartsstudio.com. You can also find me on wizio.com. I look forward to working with you online.